All right, Josh Zotek. Bublik-Moutet beef is spicy. So I saw they had an exchange in Phoenix early in the year in the Challenger, the 175, where like they basically threatened like let's go outside and fight after the match, which for me is funny because Bublik is like 6'5" and Moutet is like 5'9". So I just
Yeah, but Moutet looks scrappy, bro.
he is scrappy, but I just don't know. I don't know. But then after this match here, apparently before the match, Moutet was saying he's gonna do everything he can to send Bublik home, and then Bublik beats him, and then the post-match conference, he says to the interviewer, he spoke too much before the match, so I'm glad he gets to go home now. It's a short taxi ride from here. He lives in Paris, something like that. And then I think Moutet said something about he likes to talk in front of the camera, but I know who he is, like not in front of the camera. Whatever. I think it's all funny. For me, it's all funny because I just don't see them ever fighting, and I think nothing's gonna happen to anybody. But do you think that these kind of things are good for tennis? Like people having genuine rivalries and not liking each other?
Yeah,
You like it?
yeah, bro.
I think that
It
shit
just
is so
builds
funny.
storylines. It makes people want to go and watch. Yo, Bublik and Moutet are gonna play again. Like for sure, we're gonna go. Yeah, that's good stuff.
I want Moutet on this podcast, but I appreciate him because I think he doesn't care also. Like Bublik in a similar way, but a few times this year I've seen him on the last couple of years have issues with either crowds or players. Like I saw him this year,
Was it
Miami
Miami?
with Tabilo.
Yeah.
He was hating the Chilean crowd. Tabilo won that one, and that was a little spicy too. And then actually in Chile when he was there, he was like chirping the crowd crazy after matches too, like giving them the air. Like I think I enjoy that stuff. People probably don't like it that much because I think they reminds them some of like Kyrgios antics, but I also like that stuff. I think that stuff is actually fun. Like when Kyrgios played City Pass in Wimbledon, like those kind of chippy environments. I think tennis lacks. I think from time to time. I think it's too friendly all the time, and yeah, I think that stuff is funny. We'll do one more before we get out of here. If you could coach each other, what would you have him do?
I mean, I don't think I would have Justin do anything that he's like. There's nothing that I would have him do that he's not trying to already do. Like, I think Justin's already, first of all, struggled with consistency of like health and a stretch of tournaments to play. So that can't be easy. And then because of that, obviously he's not first year out of school anymore. I'm sure there's doubts and stuff about, just if he'll be able to be healthy and play again. So I understand. I don't know if I can fully relate to it because I had one serious injury and it lasted me like 6 months to a year, and I was back playing and I was completely fine. So I don't know how it feels for it to be a consistent uncertainty for years. So, and I don't know what the answer is in terms of health for him, but I can understand why he's the way he has been. So again, like what Justin said earlier, I would just hope that he can just give himself a fair shot, because it's hard to problem solve anything really when you don't have enough time to really address the issue. Because as soon as something happens, like in the game, whatever it is, you don't have enough time to fix it and be like, okay, this is what happens in a certain situation. This is how I combat it. This is what I need to do. You can't really address it when every few weeks to months you're dealing with, something on the body that you have to try and address. So, yeah, number one is just for Justin to get healthy, and then that's win number one. And when he can be consistent and play a bunch of matches, then we can, address some of the other areas of why he hasn't been able to replicate the form that he had in college or like early on in his professional career. That's my answer to that. God bless.
For Jody, it would be more of a mental, emotional thing, in my opinion. The best I've ever seen Jody is when he's off court and away from the court. Or even on the court, actually, where things seem light. He mentioned earlier that sometimes he could be negative on himself and things can get kind of heavy. Whenever I've seen him sort of like doing the work, but being goofy and talking a lot of shit and laughing and just kind of being in the. We talked a lot about moods early on when we started working with our coach now, Chris. I think when he's in a certain mood, better things happen for Jody. And I think, obviously, he can improve a few things, and I think he has. Like the 40s have improved a lot. The serve even, which was always good, but I think now it's become like a pretty reliable weapon in most cases. Obviously, there's some things he could do better probably with the backhand still, but who gives a fuck? It's doubles. Like, you can probably hide that in most cases. Or if you have the right partner, you can kind of find ways to do whatever. But I think a lot of it has to do with the confidence and the mood. When he can stay in a certain mood, I think he performs better. So I think I would have to become more of a performance coach more than a tennis coach, in my opinion. For my good friend Jody over there. And actually see one I want to answer. Hugo Hernandez is asking, what is your favorite tennis movie or show? For me, it's Baby Steps, cheesy but accurate on the field during a match. I've never heard of Baby Steps, and I don't think I've ever watched a good tennis movie or show. But I have seen, back in my younger days, I would be on YouTube, and there was this show, like an anime called Prince of Tennis. I don't know if you've ever seen that, but it's like a little like Japanese anime. And like, you know how they have you ever seen anime? Or like Dragon Ball Z, anything like that?
Yeah.
So they be playing tennis, but they do all the slow-mos and like the action shots like anime. And sometimes I think it was pretty funny and it was good. Pretty good show. So I would say that's probably the best thing I've ever seen to do with tennis. But that movie that came out the other
King
year.
Richard was good.
Who?
King Richard?
Yeah.
That was
Maybe that one. Yeah. But Challengers, that Zendaya shit was garbage. Sorry. Garbage. I saw another like a Wimbledon movie.
But is
good.
that garbage because of you as a tennis player? But do other people like that from like
I think also the movie was stupid.
Okay.
For me, as an avid moviegoer, I just didn't understand like some of the things. But maybe it just wasn't made for me and my demographic.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. Like, is there people who they watch it like, wow, that was good? Like who would have liked that movie?
To be fair, when I went into the theater, it was a lot of young, like early 20s girls.
You know what I mean?
So like it probably just wasn't for me. You know, it was for Zendaya fans. So, and it got good ratings. So maybe it did its thing.
Thanks for watching this clip. If you want to watch the full episode, the link is in the description down below.